Have you ever felt like your life was falling apart, only to discover later that it was actually falling into place? Sometimes the pain, the confusion, the endings, they're not punishments, they're initiations. Because real transformation isn't always gentle, it burns. But from that fire, something sacred is born. In the first chapter of Frequency by Penney Peirce, she compares our personal transformation to that of the mythical phoenix. The phoenix doesn't simply grow wings and rise. First, it burns. This is the nature of deep spiritual change. Before we can expand, we must let the old self dissolve. The illusions, the patterns, the identities, they must die, so something truer can emerge. This is not just symbolic, it's vibrational. Your energy is recalibrating. Your very frequency is shifting. When things start to collapse in your life, a job ends, a relationship falls apart, your beliefs no longer make sense, it's tempting to panic. We want to fix it, to hold on, to keep the familiar structure intact. But what if the collapse is the medicine? What if what feels like destruction is actually your soul clearing the way for something greater? Ask yourself, what in your life is falling away right now? What have you been resisting? Even though it no longer resonates, the ashes aren't a sign of failure. They're the foundation of your rebirth. Here's the hardest part. The phoenix can't rush the flames. It must surrender fully to the fire. Likewise, your transformation asks for your trust. There is a point in the process where you can't go back. But the new version of you hasn't fully arrived yet. It's uncomfortable. It's vulnerable. But it's also sacred. This in-between is where your frequency softens, expands, and begins to align with a more authentic version of yourself. And in this silence, in the nothingness, you start to feel a new rhythm. One that comes from your soul, not your fear. Once the old burns away, something extraordinary happens. Clarity, lightness, inner power. But this new energy doesn't come from the outside. It rises from within. You begin to see life differently, feel differently, choose differently, and suddenly, the same world looks new. Because you are vibrating differently, you become magnetic to new possibilities. You attract relationships, insights, and opportunities that match your new state. This is not magic. It's resonance. Here's a practice to support your inner phoenix. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Visualize a fire in your heart, not one that destroys, but one that purifies. Bring to mind something in your life that's ending, or something you're ready to release. Imagine offering it to the fire. Watch it dissolve. Then, from the ashes, feel a light rising within you. Soft, radiant, new. You don't need to know exactly who you're becoming. You just need to allow the process. Transformation doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like stillness, like falling apart. But just like the phoenix, you're not being destroyed, you're being redefined. Let the old burn with grace. Let the new rise with courage. And most of all, trust that your soul knows the way. Even when your mind doesn't understand. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, subscribe to the channel for more reflections like this, to remind you in every season that you are light in motion, and your vibration is your power. Until next time, may you rise again and again from your own sacred fire.